come on, we're about to begin. Come on, come on. Okay, let's start. So before this, we told you guys about what? Trends. And Big Boom as well, right? About trends, innovation types, right? Lots of things. นี่คนนี้ชื่อพิการ But for myself, I'm technically not from the tech, not a techie guy. My experience was I had a degree in architecture before joining AIS, and then I got the master in like strategic marketing. So I have a mixed background in design and marketing. So the reason I'm here in AIS is that like this kind of thing actually happens when you're not studying in the field that you want, but then they allow you to work because it's innovation related. Because if you guys really focusing on the point that we are all trying to make right now, anything is possible. So let me start by saying like where to begin though. There's a lot of things that like my colleagues covering up already, but you know where to begin. It actually comes from the customer. This is the point that I want to make here. Understanding customers' needs and wants, and go beyond the page, and also don't forget to communicate. Right? Okay. You know Henry Ford, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What about him? What's so special about him? He created the first car, right? But he said that like, no, I don't think customer at that time would really think of the car. They would prefer a faster horses instead. Why? How can he be that visionary at that time though? They are all human like you as well, right? Because maybe he understands something that you don't understand or you're about to understand, right? Because they understand the customer, right? So here he is. From the horse, he breaks the horse into a car, right? It doesn't stop there. From a car, this guy comes in. Who's he? You know? Elon Musk, right? He invented what? You guys all know it. Yeah. This car, right? This car. Very neat, electrical, very cool. Again, he doesn't stop there as well. From the car, right? He starts to think of something like really bigger and like go like beyond, like go further. Even like out of the world. So he invented this SpaceX company. It's pretty amazing, right? So the point I'm trying to make is that maybe Henry Ford and Elon Musk understand one thing. That from horse riding to space exploration, it all started from the very beginning that he understands the customer. But what do they really understand though? From horse, car, Tesla to SpaceX spaceship, they all understand that people want to travel from point A to B, right? From village to village, from city to city, but now from Earth to Moon. Who knows what next, right? Yeah. The problem is how do we know what to invent and what to innovate, right? Maybe some of you guys in this class will be the next Elon, I don't know. Anything is possible, as I said. I'm from an architectural background, right? I don't know how I get here, but then I'm early here. So it's actually possible to be the next, maybe like, I don't know, Elon Musk. But from moon to where then? To outer space? Further and further, we don't know, right? But here, the point that I'm trying to make is that how do these guys actually come up with the solution at the right time to actually invent something. So here it is. I think personally, I don't know if I'm right. I read many of the articles, and I think they all understand that people want freedom to go anywhere they desire to explore. ASAP, right? You want to go to the moon ASAP. You want to go to, I don't know, whatever planet out there ASAP, right? As soon as possible, in case you're asking. Yeah. As fast as possible, as soon as possible, right? So what they're doing is that they're reframing the question. It doesn't stop there as well from this freedom to explore. Do you know this? Hyperloop. Crazy idea from not Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, right? They want to create this infrastructure all around the world where it has like this high-tech, like magnetic transportation, blah 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 blah. So techy. I don't know about that. But then this transportation can has 670 miles per hour. It's pretty fast. Like you can travel from Bangkok to New York in just an hour from that speed, right? It doesn't stop there. Goes back a bit. From screwdriver, you know, Sawat, right? An electrical driver. What's the need of the customer here?
Not to force onto the screwdriver.
What does the customer really want from this device?
Convenience.
Convenience in what?
Reduce the
Get more. Come on.
maybe reduce the energy.
Almost there, but get deeper.
Efficiency.
So simple. They want to create a whole as quickly as possible. That's how from Solar. It's actually like electrical driver, which there's a lot of brand that offers this kind of product, right? Yeah, comes from very profound need of the human. If you actually think about it, I have more cases. From pencil, the wooden pencil, or the feather pencil, to this Apple Pencil 2, what do we want as a customer?
Better experience.
Yeah, write a message, for me I think like, you want a short note anywhere, and I think from like Apple Pencil is that you can access the note anywhere, right? Okay. Well, what about this? The latest iPhone. Do you know how this idea originated? What is it at the beginning? What do we want? What do you want from the phone? Capture what?
Take pictures.
Yeah, but the very beginning of the telephone, why do we need telephone for?
Communication.
To communicate, right? What is the created need and what is the false need, do you see? Do we really want to capture or we really want to communicate?
Communicate.
I think maybe both these days. Because pictures is also another communication, how to say, for human for another human to understand, like myself and you as well, right? It's a touch-based cell phone. That's it, that's the concept. That's the need of the human right there. Nothing so complex, so simple, right? So from all of the features, drilling down, dig deeper, it's very simple, the feature that all these products, even these really innovative products, it's just fit on this needs that we all have, and it's really simple. What do Henry Ford and Elon do is that they understand users' needs and wants, and they keep reframing the question until they come up with a new solution by you guys, right? When an engineer. But let me stop you right there. Can you innovate your product alone without designer,
No.
without marketer?
No.
No, right?
Yes.
So that's why we have to come sit together and just discuss and think about the innovation that we all wanna create, right? Okay, so here's my point. Understanding users' need and want, and go beyond as well. Beyond what? Have you ever seen this Maslow hierarchy of needs? Have you ever seen this before? It's really interesting that those innovative products actually come from really like basic human needs, right? So does it like mean that you guys are an engineer and then you don't get to understand like psychology? Because that's really like prime need of human. And if you understand truly what psychology tells you, definitely you're going to work with designers, marketers, business guys, or CEO to actually create the product that like they will really need it or they don't even know that they want it, right? You guys don't know this. You can have a look in Google. There's a lot. I cannot cover like all the. It's called Maslow hierarchy of needs. So basically, it tells what do we need as a human, from psychological needs like sex, right, to like the needs out there which is like self-transcendence. Why you need a religion? Why you need a I don't know, teacher? Why do you need parents? I don't know. These all can be innovation, right? If you really get the core of human needs. You see, from Toyota to Volvo, which focuses on safety, right? To Tesla, which focuses on esteem, need. When you see people driving Tesla, they're like, I'm so cool. Even like Porsche or those like Rolls Royce, like they're so like executive, so high level, so glamorous, right? It starts from the very basic need of like, I just want to travel from point A to B, right? You see how the price difference? It's really high. And the reason why I say go beyond is that you always think of transportation method as a car, right? That like moves along the road. But Elon Musk doesn't think like that. He actually surpasses atmosphere already. If you're rich and you can give me money, I will send you to the moon. Do you have your money? And then I'll just like get your money and then I'll send you to space machine. So understand your customer and go beyond. Again, this guy is really worried to say something about him, but he's so cool. He said that our task is to read things that are not yet on the page. Because if it's already on the page, then there will be a lot of rivals, right? Lots of competitors already. Why you focus on the red ocean when you have the imagination to think of something in the blue ocean? Yeah, so just go beyond.
Do you know red ocean and blue ocean?
You know, red ocean is the, you know, sharing the difference.
It's like in the market, like
Louder, please.
Louder.
Stand up.
it's like
No, it's okay if you're nervous.พูดอะไรก็ได้
กดดัน It's like
อะไรก็ได้อะไรก็ได้
in the market, like something like telecom market. We have a lot of companies like AIS, try to launch, etc. And we like gonna make a new telecom company. It's very hard because it's a very big company.
So basically we have rivals in our red ocean. We call it red because it's bloody. There's a lot of like bleeding, shock, so hard to penetrate to that market, right? But when we say blue ocean, is that it's untapped market with the new features, the new need that you actually identify now. Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
I think you deserve the biggest. Limited edition.
Do you see? I think he is innovative already. He like comes out of the crowd and actually discuss with me. And you guys need to do that as well, right? If you're really like focusing on this techie, what's your degree again here?
Engineering.
Yeah, computer innovation engineer. You're supposed to be like, hey, go crazy, blah blah blah.
Beyond computer engineering.
Yeah, it's beyond, Okay, let's get back to the point. Okay, understanding users' need and want, and you say sometimes when Steve Jobs or Tim Cook, he come up with new ideas. Then if he doesn't know how to communicate, then there's no point creating it, right? Because others will just think that they're crazy. So don't forget to communicate as well. But how to communicate effectively? Have you watched this keynote? Apple Watch Series 5? No? I really want to show you one video. Try to catch the point from this ads, okay? It will help you a lot in the process.
This watch tells time and takes phone calls. This watch tells time and turns on lights and opens up doors. This watch tells time and communicates with satellites 12,427 miles above the Earth. It wakes you up and gets you onto subways and plays every Elton John studio album
Hey Siri, play Tumbleweed Connection.
ever recorded.
Play Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Play Babin of Boston.
This watch tells time and sets timers and sets your pace and warns you when it's too loud. It texts your friends and opens portals. Kidding. It tracks your distance underwater. It starts competitions and accepts challenges. It tracks your workouts and tells you which direction you should be going. And reminds you to breathe. It has an app that measures the exact timing of the electrical waves traveling through the upper and lower chambers of your heart, otherwise known as an electrocardiogram. So in conclusion, just to reiterate, this watch tells time, among other things.
This watch tells time, among other things. What's the created need and what's the real need? Can you guess? We see watch as a time-telling machine, right?
Yes.
But Apple introduces this watch and they're so afraid that you guys won't get it, so they're creating the false need for you guys to actually want this watch. That just only tells time, among other things. You see the value proposition that they're proposing, and they communicate that through the message, emotionally as well. You think the watch holder is cool, right? Apple Watch. I think that's the only point that I want to make. It actually tells the consumer what they're offering above the feature that already has like in the watch, right? So I think personally that's really cool. But there's a lot of features as well. And you see, this kind of graphics that tells lots of feature of Apple Watch wouldn't be successful without graphic designer and all those like design related work that Apple pays a lot of effort in communicating to the audience. Equally to the engineers, I guess. That's why like Apple is still there, the giant player in this techie world. Okay, I have lots of things to cover, but I don't have time. I'll just end with storytelling. It's quite a way to actually communicate to the customer emotion, and you add innovative features onto the product that you're innovating. That's it. ของผมจริง I still have more. device's owner. Blah 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 blah. Buy my product and then you're cool already. That's it. That's the message. Right. It's like 2 years ago. Yeah, let me stop it there. So that was just text, right? But it can make you feel really emotional for Apple products. Yeah, that's my point. Okay, understand your customer, go beyond, and don't forget to communicate. Okay, kind of like
Okay, so do you guys need to break again, or I'll just go through all the slides? Okay, perfect. So anybody know or have seen this face before? Okay, just good. So his name is Alvaro. I can't pronounce his last name because he's Italian. So yeah, but he is the head of development team of Google AdWords. You know Google AdWords, right? Yeah. And in his life, he failed like 100 of time in Silicon Valley. So he come up with his, I think it's gonna be his flagship book called The Right It. In that book is contain 7 strategies as a bulletproof to you when you develop innovation, startup, or anything else, technology or innovation related. Because normally innovation and startup fail in the market, not because of the idea, not because of the product, but because of something that don't even think of when they launch the products. Okay, so basically it's 7 things you need to consider to like prevent you to not fail in the market. Yeah, so I will run through it fast. Like first, obey the law of market failure. To write it, blah 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 blah. Okay, do you know how many percent of innovation and startup fail in the market right now? According to the Silicon Valley statistics, it's 80%. Yeah, 20% success, 2% be an entrepreneur in the world, and 1% become a unicorn, and that's all. So, do you know what the unicorn is? Yeah, it's the successful startup with over. Guess the number of the valuation of the startup that become unicorn. Like, I would say billion, but the number before the billion can you guys guess? Okay, just move to the next one. It's easier. It's 1 billion. So obey the law of market failure. Like as Kevin showed you the ads and all the marketing campaigns of Apple, right? But it started with Google. So everyone know Google Search, Google Map, YouTube, Chrome, and so on. All the successful product. Do you know how many products actually Google failed in the market and in development stage? 10 times of what you have seen in the market. And this is the example. This is just an example, but you can see the real thing is called Google Graveyard. You can search on you can't search on Google, but you can search on Bing because it's made by Microsoft. Because that time Google become the second place and about to run over them, and sales director of Microsoft think like they want to do something like to counter it back to Google, so they make it. Have you ever known these 4 products Google made?
Yes.
Yes. Have you used it?
Some. Bit.
Yeah.
I know.
Another one, I have an account but I never use or post on it. It's called Google Wave. Google Wave is they said it's going to be another step of Gmail, but it's failed. Like nobody uses it, and even Google can fail. So everybody in the world can fail. So don't afraid to fail. And again, I think like Bing not supposed to be on this product line, but yeah, this is one of the successful product of Microsoft. And again, Microsoft have their own graveyard, and this one you can search on Google because it's made by Google. So it's interesting like when the large company fight overseas in the Europe or in the States, you can see the ads of Google versus Microsoft, Apple versus Android, and it's quite fun. It's not like in Thailand, so nobody can say anything. So just check it and you'll be surprised because Google is 10 times, but for Microsoft it's 20 times. So even the largest one can fail. And this is the stat I told you that 80% fail. So there's a basic rule, like it will call flop. The reason why the product or your idea fail in the market. So first thing is fail due to launch. This one you don't have to worry because you're in engineering, like you're an innovator. So launching plan is the thing of the marketer. So if somebody fail because of they can't launch into the market, you just blame them. It's fine. This one's supposed to be funny. Come on, guys. Help me! And next one is operation. Operation is how your product works. Like you guys have done something before, right? The beta version. You have to taste it, something like that. I don't know the technical term, but yes, it's failed due to the operation. Like some application like that doesn't work when they launch on the market. And the last one is fail due to premise. This one is mean the user don't give a shit on your product. That means you fail at the first stage. That Kevin told you, like you have to understand the customer first because like otherwise that even it works, even they don't know your product, they don't want to use it. Like, and I think this one might be easier. Case which one of these 3 is the what does it call, like come the first rank of the reason why the product failed. Yeah, that's true. This guy. Hey, okay, so this is the first one. Always obey the law of market failure. So it will fail. Like just don't set the goal that your idea is the best. So trying to craft it the best you can. To write it, I use the name book because like I would say before you build it right, let me think. Okay, make sure you build the right before you build it right. That means you have to build the things that gonna matter to someone or to your user before you make it work. Okay, so this doesn't work. This one is failed due to the operation. So it's basically your fault. You see, Apple is not always the best.
Actually, this is Microsoft product.
But it's on Apple MacBook, come on. and it's a MacBook Pro. No. Yeah. Yeah, okay. You guys know all of these things, right? Coca-Cola, Star Wars, and Big Mac. Yeah, all in the market. Have you ever heard about these things? These three things. The new Coke. Anybody heard of new Coke? No? Yes? Cool. And the Macula? Macula actually couldn't make out of the US, so you probably never heard it. And it's quite old. And next thing is Howard the Duck. Yeah. So, yeah. These three have things in common because it's failed. And it's cost the money more than the original success version. Start with the new Coke. I don't know, like once in a while some Coke marketing manager say we want to rebrand, like our brand is too old. So they're trying to create a new Coke. They spent loads of money, like hundreds of millions of dollars to create a new product. And use billions of dollars to create like a global campaign. And it's failed. So they use like another billion of dollars to rebranding it back to the Coke. If they ask their customer first, do they want a new Coke? Do they want to change the taste of the Coke first? They might not cost that money at all. Macula is another thing because at that time, like, what is it called? Like the serving thing and the Hawaii thing is quite high in the market. So they're trying to transform the Big Mac with the most innovative way, which is adding a pineapple to refer to the Hawaii into the Big Mac and call it Macula. And it's failed. And Howard the Duck cost, Howard the Duck made from Steven Spielberg 1 year after the successful of Star Wars. They give like 10 times budget of Star Wars and they have duck. Because like American love ducks, like Donald Duck, Daffy Duck, everything is duck. It's like, it's popular, but here it's not. Like the same person, more budget, but it's failed. And only one guy in this room know Howard the Duck, that's from Marvel. Can you see? Okay. Next one is don't get lost in Scotland. All the innovator and startup always think their idea is the best. They can change the world, they can do the world, they can do like whatever they think. But actually it's not. When you have your product, what do you do? To understand it, to taste. Yes, you think you might ask a customer like Kevin so told you, right? But when you have an idea and you asking them, what you got back is an opinion. So like we find somebody loves Apple, I hated them. So it's just an opinion, it's not a fact at all. And there's two kind of faults happen when you did this. First thing is happened to this one. I can't remember his name, like, yeah, but you know it, right? I think like 6 or 7 years ago, people think this is going to be the new way to commute in a city. Even some architects say like some city is going to like redesign to serve purpose like of this to be a main transportation of the human race. But right now, who use it?
No one.
Yeah, a mall police, a fat one actually, and a Chinese tourist. No offense, but yes, this is it. And the airport guard, like, come on, it's called false positive because at first everybody says it's gonna be good, but it's just an opinion. So they do it, they make it real, and they fail. Moving on, you know Twitter, right? They did the same, but what they get is people say, are you crazy? Like, who's gonna type 140 characters and send it to other people? and anybody can read your message. You can read any other message. Like it's anonymity. You don't even know who that is. But actually, it's a science. This one is called false positive because somebody think your product is not good. That doesn't mean it's not good. But how to know, how to like really distinguish between opinion and what did they really want. I call it Yoda. Do you guys know Yoda?
Yes.
Okay.
Go watch Star Wars.
Okay. Trust only in Yoda. Yoda is little guy in a Star Wars film. And actually Yoda stands for your own data. Because like these days people say somebody say that, somebody did those, stats say that, but it's not your data. It's come from like other project, other aspect, other time, other method of collection, other method of analysis. It's others, it's not yours. And like in the movie, Yoda is the only one who knows that Anakin is going to bring the ship to the galaxy. But he still listens to Qui-Gon Jinn. And come on, he almost died because of that. If he believed in himself at the first place and kicked Anakin out of the temple, the whole Star Wars thing is going to end in just like one episode. And that's for real. Somebody laughed. Okay. I appreciate that. Hey, don't spoil the end. Spoiler alert. So here's like, just because some similar idea have failed in the past before, that doesn't mean you will fail. And this one can say for Tesla. Tesla is not the first. What is his name again? I forgot.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk is not the first one to come with idea of like electric car. Toyota come first, Volvo come first. But they say it couldn't happen. Like market won't accept that electric car. But what's behind that? The oil, the Arab group, and I don't know. So, but Elon Musk say, I can make it, I will make it, and it's success. Why other fail? The similar case happens to, I would say maybe BlackBerry. In the hard time of BlackBerry, that they're trying to come back up in the market, like they're trying to copy iPhone or the Android phone, but it doesn't work for them because they forget only one standpoint and their unique proposition is the security. Apple is one of the most security phone in the world. Even the president of the United States uses BlackBerry, but they leave that out and use Android operation on their phone, so that's why. Okay, how to get your own data? Have you ever crossed the word prototype? No? What about prototype? Yeah. Prototype is the early stage of prototype. It's easier than making a prototype. Prototype can cost you like months, but this one is hours. Basically, is the way to test your product as cheap as possible, as fast as possible. So, let's see an example. This one is the speech to text, and it's happened in 1980. It's not new things, but it just launched, and you guys just have to use it. Like this one come first, not because they want to deliver the service to the consumer. They just want to sell the laptop. IBM want to sell a personal computer and a laptop, and in that day, all the executive don't know how to type. They have a secretary. So, and it's gonna be like pretty expensive in that time. So the only guy can afford that is gonna be executive. They don't know how to type. So basically, they come up with an idea. What if they don't have to type? They just say something, and the computer like will type it themselves. So to build a prototype, it can cost them like 5 years, according to the technology at that time. But they did something clever, like they let executives speak on a microphone that link to the other room. In that room, there's a secretary who can type like fucking fast. And like on the screen, I'm sorry, like they show it like it's an automatic, but think of it like if you have to type your report or maybe like your thesis with your voice, come on, you're gonna go to the hospital in 2 days. And of course, like in the office, like it's gonna be like pretty noisy. Yeah. Another thing is Tesla. With Tesla, they also did the prototype. They didn't come up with a real car model. You know, right? Like there were, it's 2,000 USD, I think. Like when people want to buy it, like they have to wait 2 years and deposit for 2,000. They make it to test the market. So Elon Musk say like it's easier for people to open the mouth than open the wallet. So why not give me some money first, and then I will give you a car. So okay, this is correct. So he buy a Lotus Elise model, a sport car, take out the old engine, and put in his new electric engine. Let customer test drive, and if they want to buy it, just give him 2,000. And when he got like 25 cars, so he start to like produce his car in the production line. And that's the market validation that somebody really wants your product. And that is your own data, not opinion. Okay. Yeah. I think like speech to text is really not working. And that one is saying by number. So basically, you can say anything you want. You can refer to anybody who like look fancy, even they're dead or not. But that you are an engineer, like scientifically, you need a hypothesis. It's not gonna be a sad hypothesis like H1 or something like that. It's just like they wanna see X% of the customer will do Y. In some context, it's gonna be like 20% of a board game player will play board game online. They don't even know if it's real or not, but they just want to test it. And during the test, they can pivot their product or service or marketing plan according to this Yoda. They got it from the prototype. But you know what? Like when you want to start a business or innovation and you just aim for Thailand, that means you fail before you launch it, because the Thailand market is so small. At least it's going to be an APAC, Asia Pacific, or CLMV at least. And if you can cover Oceania, it's going to be better. But you can taste it abroad because it's going to cost you money. So this is called hyper-zooming. So if you here today in the university, you can test it here. Like in Stanford, there's a project of like half-price sushi. So they said, if I bought sushi today and I sold it tomorrow for half price, student will buy it. But actually no one buy it. So that's quite the case. And the real example is this morning, I just terminated my own project because of I failed the taste. It's what is it called? Like machine learning platform, like automatically train AI with the data set on my platform I'm trying to develop, but it's failed and I terminated it. And it's cost me 500 baht to contact with Japan partner, Malaysian partner, and all the researchers all around the world. It's just 500 because I use the prototype model. So I never imagined to like run a test drive of AI thing with a 500 baht before, but it can happen. If you're interested in it, like you can search on YouTube for his name and the writing, and also all the Stanford class, because he's worked with Stanford and Professor Sharp. So it's basically good for you like to be innovator in the future. So basically now like you can more or less pick the right Lego brick from the Lego pie. You know the trend, you know the way to think, you have to understand the consumer, and at least you have 7 strategy which maybe I go through it a bit fast, but you can search it online, of course. I believe it, and the book name is The Right Thing. You can find it on Amazon. Now what next? To make it real, to make it a business, to launch it to the market. These guys say something on the board, but I will conclude it to be a startup, to be an innovator, you have to face uncertainty all the time. You can't avoid it.
Do you know what uncertainty is?
Yes.
Are you guys interested in opening up your own startup?
Like we don't know what will happen in the future at all.
Yeah.
That's called uncertainty.
Yes. It's coming all force. Like I don't know, uncertainty due to the politics. Our prime minister, who's no anything is all called uncertainty. So how to face it? Like actually 7 strategy is a good thing to help you develop your idea and craft it into a real product and test it whether it will work or not. But now I'm gonna tell you like how to build a real innovation, because when you're talking about building real innovation, it's not just like creating product, it's all the business. Because without the money, you cannot go on trying to produce, scaling it, and make a dream come true. Okay, so this guy, Steve Brandt, aka General Sender, like he owned the KFC chain in the world. This guy. And he said the startup failed because the lack, not because of the product, but it's because of they don't understand customer and a profitable business model. I take it from Kevin and people and the 7 strategy. We have this value proposition canvas, which I believe like you will learn about business model canvas on the 3rd year, right? Yes. So it's just a glimpse before you hit that point. So basically like they divided customer insight into 3 core components. First one is like the core task, what they want to do, what gain to them, and what pay to them. And they're trying to map that with our innovation or our product or things we try to create, like what can help them, in what aspect. This is a good example from Airbnb. This is the real Airbnb value proposition canvas, and but it's in the early stage while they're still in the seed round. So as you can see, everything is quite unclear. So I think like the beauty of using canvas model is because it's like you're building a Lego house with a Lego brick in your hand. You can like design what to keep, what to leave out, what to add, and what will fit based to your house design. So yeah, I would say like first, like they're trying to like be a community for students to post if they have maybe a available bed or sofa in the room to somebody to like sleep on it, and that's all. That's the core value of it. Okay, this is look a bit tricky, but basically number 1 and number 2 is what I showed you before in the circle and the like triangle shape. And another thing is business. So as you can see, everything connects together. You cannot deliver your value to your customer without a channel. You don't have a customer if you don't make the customer relationship. And of course, like if you don't have your customer, you don't have a revenue. You don't have a money to develop another type of product, another series. And as you can see, you couldn't do it yourself right now. You, one guy, cannot develop anything at all. you have to need a partner. And you have to identify what your partner need to do to help you and what you need to interact with them. And of course, it comes with cost. I'd like to do it fast, but if you're interested in this model, you can go to Strategizer. There's a bunch of information there and a toolkits and case study. I think like you can, it's quite a bit self-learning approach for this model canvas, and I think you guys are pretty clever, like, so try, give it a try. Example from Skype, so this don't have to be like a boring business text or 100-page of business plan. It can come in like a simple infographic, like what Skype offer you, like a voice call, meeting call, right? Like overseas call, and that's all. And they're trying to spot everything. We're gonna give them the slide, right? So I will not read through everything. So yeah, basically like you can find every kind of like example of this canvas on the internet. So I will skip it. So when you got that canvas, that means you already built your Lego house. This one is good. And this film is in Denmark, I think. Like, so have a check on it. But that's just the beginning. When you're talking in a real world, in a business world, this is only the beginning. It's like a map. That model canvas, that Lego house is a map to point you to direction B. Like Kevin said, people want to move from the point A to point B. Right now you got point A where you stand here. You got point B where the Lego house is, but you don't have a compass. You don't know the direction. And that is all uncertainty thing you have to consider about. You might think like all business metric and framework like is out of date, like SWOT analysis. You guys know SWOT analysis?
Yes.
Yes.
Strength,
5 force.
Strength, weakness.
Anybody know 5 force? What are the 5 force? Okay. So what I recommend you right now, like if you really want to have your like own entrepreneurship or develop a real innovation, maybe need to look into 5 force, SWOT analysis, and PESTEL. So it's gonna be your compass. It's gonna be like your Google map. Navigate you from point A to point B. And don't forget, like I see one picture show up, like they have a design thinking, lean startup and agile. That new thing is also not bad. Use it combined together to make your dream come true. Whoa. And I think that's all for today. Am I too fast?
Any questions, anyone? Any questions? Okay, our last question. Can anybody tell me what is innovation? We have an iPhone test. You can take you in computer. What is innovation? People want innovation.
Let me hint you guys. Innovation is something to create something new and what